solo, I'll talk to you about 3 of my favorite productions you have recently.
Let's go.
Jim Jones, Laps Around the Sun. I mean, it's the whole album, but Laps Around the Sun.
Thank you.
That Jack Harlow, Keep It Light.
Keep it light. Shout out to my man, Jack.
I keep it humble so everybody can feel all right. What's the line? I keep it humble.
Yeah.
And my man Currency, Jermaine Dupri.
Come on, man.
Tell me about some of those cook-ups, man. I love those records.
I mean, well, you know, it's weird because like the me and Jim thing actually happened through reaching out to him to get him on Longevity for Plugs Unmet. So once you know him and French kind of smoothed out.
Yeah.
You know, we got in contact and I said, listen, man, I got this record with Benny and French and, you know, the subject matter and everything. I just think it would really be something special to have you on there.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got on and we were kind of developing the online recording thing and trying to figure it all out in the quarantine studios, you know, and he got on there and then that led us to working on something. And, you know, that Laps Around the Sun, it was like, I was like, just wanted to give him something that was stripped down, had that flute so he could just talk his shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, you give Jim a chance to talk his shit.
How do you get Jack Harlow to talk his shit?
Jack is crazy because it was actually, shout out to Don Cannon. You know, me and him have just kept in contact over the years, just respectfully. You know, I've always wanted to work with Uzi, so I've always been chasing Don Cannon to try and make that happen and get all that. So, you know, I've been paying attention to Jack because he had been on Sway and stuff. I was like, yo, this kid could really rap, man.
Boss,
he really could rap. And so Don was like, send me some shit. So it's funny, I sent him a bunch of shit, and it was kind of like trying to make a hit for him. You know what I mean? And like, and he was like, yo, man, I need one of those things you do. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I gave him those, and it was weird. I didn't hear back from him. You know, but that happens. You know what I mean? I just texted him these. A couple months later, he hit me like, yo, man, this one you sent me, I really got something special to it, you know? And we just started going back and forth, and Cannon got on Zoom and played me the song, and I was like, wow. And then he proceeded to play me like 7 missiles off the album. I was like, oh, shit. So that was a movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they sleeping a little bit on that Jack Harlow album. He got some shit on there.
I think so. But you know what it is, man? It's like, he's a real artist. Like, he's going to evolve over the time. You know what I mean? I think Jack is not a flash in the pan type of guy. He's a real writer. So it's like he's building his legacy, building block at a time. You know what I mean? And I think that kid got a really special career ahead of him, bro.
Special career and legacy. I think of this guy, Currency Spitter, man. This guy doesn't stop, man. Like,
I mean, that guy's
how cool was it to do a record like as much as the work he's put in, you know, to shout out Jermaine Dupri and see how well he received it, how he thought the record.
It was mind-blowing. Like, honestly, it was because, like, you know, like you said, me and Spitter just are, like, always working. Like, we never stop working on the album or we're just constantly working, you know? So, and I love all our music, but, you know, we're just, like, in this flow. So it's kind of like something like that kind of makes us both realize, like, wow, this is even bigger than we think. You know what I mean? Because we just like brothers. We just work. We just stoner. You know our vibe. Like, we just like do what we do. You know what I mean? And then for him to like recognize it, and that was just all special, man. You know what I mean? It was just all special.
How do you stay motivated, Harry? Like, at this point, man, people expect, you know, like, you know, you're gonna take it there sonically, like, what's your process? Do you feel like this time like you have like a formula? Or do you constantly like try different things? Like, what's your
I'm always trying shit. I think that's what helps me like push forward is like new gear or, you know, new approaches or new sounds. But, you know, I swear, man, I've been telling people a long time, like, they be like, oh, you did this. You know, I'll be like, bro, I'm really just warming up. You know, I'm figuring, I'm always learning. You know what I mean? I'm not resting. So I've been telling people like, yo, I'm really just warming up. Like, I'm really just figuring the science of this out. And I think they're starting to believe me, you know? And then it's like guys like Al, you know, producers I respect that just, I was on FaceTime with Al this morning, like, and he was just like, you know, bigging me up and about the record. But, you know, we have that good kind of like big brother, little brother competitiveness about us. And I said back to him, I said, you've been keeping me on my toes.
it must be interesting to work with Benny when it's like so much of the Griselda whole story is obviously they're awesome spitters, but like they're known for like production and Alchemist, Derringer, like
totally. Like, I said that to somebody this week. It's like, bro, you know, it's a lot of that feeling of like you gotta come with it around these guys, whether it's Benny, Gunn, Conway. Like you can't come with some weak shit, bro, because you gotta think they getting every best beat from they getting every producer's best beat. You know, every producer. It's like when you send shit to Drizzy. You know what I mean? It's like I know he's getting everybody's fucking #1 shit. So that's how I felt with Benny. And you know, Benny ran me through the ringer. You know what I mean? First time we linked up, I had a bunch of Griselda shit for him, and he was like, "Nah, this not what we doing." You know what I mean? We got to take it to another place. So, but I wanted to make sure that I kept those influences intact. Like obviously, like Derringer's one of the greatest doing it right now. Alchemist, one of the greatest doing it right now. Like these guys, and they have their feelings and their sounds, and you know what I mean? It's just
They said Benny's in here. Let me find Benny.
All right, cool. I'm actually about to grab my charger real quick.
Okay, cool. Let me see. Send him the invite. I think I did it right, Benny. If not, put the request in.
This is that
first IG live. It's my first IG live room, and look, I'm
with the three-way, right? I know. I called Matt right before we got on, like, bro, I know how to do this shit.
No, we got to get Benny in, man. Make sure we doing it right, man.
You know?
We ain't the young TikTok kids, you know?
That's a fact.
Let's see if we get Benny up in here. Benny, if I don't see you, send me a request or whatever. I'll click on that. That's what Harry did. So, yeah, the thing, too, is you guys cooked up together for real, right? In Brooklyn,
whole thing.
Right? This ain't no sending and pack back and forth.
No emails, man. No emails were harmed during this process. You know what I mean? This was all, and I think you could hear it, though. You know what I mean? This was lots of long nights in the studio. You know, DJ Shay with us, rest in peace, man. Such a special brother, you know, and he was with us, Rick Hod, you know, Benny's kind of crew of guys that, you know, kept us motivated, gave us that input. Everybody kept it real, you know what I mean? You know, no foo-foo shit. You know, if it wasn't good enough, we went back in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's like, that's what you got to be able to do with your bros. Like, you know, you hear so much of this music and you need to tell, like, nobody was in the studio being honest with them. You know what I mean? Like, because, and it's like, I just need everybody around me to keep that energy, that honest energy with me, man. I don't want to hear no yes, man, and all that shit. You know?
So working with so many different type of artists through the years, like, what did you find distinctive or different about Benny, working with him closer?
It's wild. I've said it so many times, and he reminded me of Chink so much because both, like, super focused in the studio, you know, their technical shit. There he is.
There he is.
I'm here.
What's coming?
I'm here.
There he is.
Hey, yo, you funny as you said no emails was harmed in the making of that. Real shit. For real.
That's hip-hop, baby.
No wasted bandwidth, you know what I mean?
Hey, yo, Harry, we #1, baby.
Come on, boy.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yo, Benny, you said your releases at this point should just be national holidays, right?
For real, man. No school, no work, no nothing. You know what I mean? If you over 65, you eat free at IHOP, all type of shit when we drop. You know what I mean?
That's a fact, man.
How do you think that, playing past it, I'm trying to stun you real quick. What do you think, what is it about Benny, your releases that each one feels special, right? Like so much music comes out. It's hard for artists to break through the noise, but it feels like every time you're about to drop a project and you drop into the project, it feels special. It breaks through.
I think because I go out my way, and for the artists that's listening, I know you're about to steal this, but I feel like I go out my way to like I celebrate my releases. I had 3 listening parties already in 3 different cities. Before the album even came out, I'm scheduling 2 release parties. You know, we celebrate the releases and we make it a big thing. We don't just throw the music out there, like we celebrate the release. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, all my projects are like be overdue. I talk about them for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
know, like, man, when Plugs I met, man, you and Harry should work. You and Harry should do this. People say that for a year. They was waiting on Burden of Proof, waiting on 10 to Talk 3. And that's another thing. I make them wait, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm too busy cooking and getting it right and getting the taste in that gumbo right. Me and Harry dip his big spoon in. I mean, what you think that need? Sprinkle it a little, bung, bung, bung. And we just take our time with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't chasing no paper or nothing. We just chasing legacy.
Facts, bro. And I think that like giving ourselves that space to create without that, like, you know, A&R coming to the studio, breathing down motherfuckers' necks, looking for a single and all this shit. Like, no, like we was just locked in. You know what I mean? Just gave ourselves that space and that time to like really cook it.
Yeah, Benny, I was asking Harry to discuss you as an MC, like him as a producer. Like again, I was saying earlier, like, you know, with Griselda, besides you guys being, you know, vicious spitters, we associate you with great production. You know, Derringer, Alchemist, like talk about Harry and why did you want to work with him and what was unique about the production, you know, he was giving you?
Man, like the guys who worked around a lot of artists and worked around everybody. Like for me, I'm a new person, so I mean, I was a little intimidated going to go work with Harry. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he done worked with all these people. Same thing as Al and Hit. But you know, these producers, like these niggas is legends. You feel what I'm saying? And I never underestimate these dudes' worth or their expertise. So it's like, man, when I go in there, he's finding beats that he feel fit me. And a lot of times I don't like say like, nah, I really don't like that beat. I'm not feeling it. If the producer says, I hear you on that beat, like honestly, like who am I to tell these niggas that I don't know about that? Like who am I to say that? These dudes know what they doing and I trust them and hopefully when I spit my shit, they trust the flow. And that's what it is. I'm really like, I got Harry in the studio all night and we work and I'm using him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
using him. I'm using his advice. No, you should do this. It's a lot of it's on a couple songs on there. I was rapping. I'm like, you know what? Let me try to come back the next day. He like, what? I heard you mumbling over there. If you don't lay that shit down, and I lay it down. I'm like, yo, you was right. You was right about that. So it's a lot of that going on. You know what I'm saying? I use these dudes' brains.
Yeah, and what did it going so well with Hit for Burden of Proof inspire you to like lock in with one producer for a whole project?
I think so. But I was working on Burden of Proof at the same time I was working on Plugs I Met too.
Yeah.
I just think that I give that type of energy off to the producers and they just take a liking to me and they want to work with me and want to put together whole projects. You know what I'm saying? I'm a humble dude. I come in the studio, I don't say much. I'm smoking, order some food, shit like that. And I mean, and just let's just go. So I think I've been blessed that, you know, them dudes take a liking to that and like, you know what, I want to work with this dude more. Instead of doing that one song and kicking me out and shit.
Yeah, Harry, what is that like? Like, you know, coming off with Jim Jones and now Benny, like, to be able as a producer to really cook up a whole project with an artist, like, what's so special about that?
I mean, for me, that's, you know, and I know Benny the same way. And like, you know, if you think about some of the greatest music we grew up on, you know what I mean? It's like it was produced by one person, you know what I mean? Or it was one brain trust in there. If it wasn't one person programming every drum, it was, you know, a brain trust of guys that kind of was that artist team. And I honestly feel like for me, I'm not a one, you know, I can give you one record and I'll always shine, but at the same time I think bigger than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think on a higher scale than that. I think on a larger scale than that. So I think when I get in there and find the chemistry between me and the artist, because that's the building block of the entire situation. Like if we don't got chemistry, we ain't gonna make some hot shit. So, you know, once I find that and obviously, like you said, I've been doing this long enough that I kind of know the feeling. You know what I mean? When I get the little tingles and shit when they in the booth and I'm like, okay, this is a marriage is here. You know what I mean? So then I kind of like Benny said, I just pursue down that road, you know? And like what he said of him using me, that's exactly what I want. You know, I'm just a tool in his toolbox, you know, to get what he needs to get, you know, but at the same time, he's open-minded enough that he allows himself to be produced. And I think that's something that's lost on a lot of artists now because they grew up taking beats out of a YouTube or an email. They wasn't getting produced by somebody, you know, they were just dealing with beat makers, you know what I mean? So with Benny, he's the type of guy that, like he said, if he he might be like, "Ah, I need to come back," and I'll be like, "No, you were just mumbling the cadence in the corner. That's the one. What are you talking about? Go down that road." You know what I mean? And sometimes he just needs that like reassurance of like, yeah, that is the one. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he just go down. And once you get that end result that comes out good, once we got that 2 or 3 times, then he just trusts me implicitly that he knows like I'm gonna give him the right direction.
Speaking of chemistry, I thought it was interesting the guests you have on the project. Like, first of all, like, you know, obviously I know how close Chinks was to you, Harry. Like, why was it important for both of you guys to include Chinks on the project?
I've been telling this story a lot lately. Man, I did a record with French like 10 years ago. I'm saying when Chinks was running around with him, when French, you know what I'm saying, wasn't who he is today. Chinks was in the studio hungry. I learned something from him that day, and I carried it on. I mean, that's the same record, the same way I got on records with Royce the 5'9". That's a different story though. But he came to me, he's like, "Yo, let me get on this record," and I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." And he just got on the record. He was in there. He wasn't getting paid for it. I paid French. He came in there. He was just standing around. There was a beat playing. He wasn't wasting his time. He got on the record. And then that showed me a lot about him. And I did a little running around with him, a couple shows and shit. He always seen me, always gave me the utmost love and respect. So, you know what I mean? And then when I had the opportunity to do it, well, Harry was like, "Yo, I got an idea." And I thought the idea was perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How did that come together, Harry? And how meaningful was it to have Chinks part of this project?
I mean, like Benny said, you know, that backstory, it was wild because, you know, me and Shay were sitting in the studio one day before Benny had got to the studio for one of the sessions. And you know, we was just waiting on him to pull up or whatever, just chatting. And he was telling me that exact story, you know, so that kind of like, okay, boom, mental marker. And then, you know, I have all Chinks verses cataloged in here that he ever laid, you know, and that's my brother, you know, and, you know, when he laid that record, I swear I was like, "Oh, I know the verse that's gonna work." And I said, like, just trust me to Benny, like, trust me to do something with this. And you know, I went and did it, and I said it before a couple times this week. That was the easiest time that I ever took a Chinks verse and put it on a record. The hook was already in key. The cadence, I didn't have to massage it. It was really like these guys were supposed to be on this song together. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it just came out perfect, you know? And for me, it's like every chance I get, I got to make sure to hear my brother. You know what I mean? That's just, no doubt. I just can't keep going without that happening at every chance that I get, you know? Because I truly believe, you know, him and Benny would be working together right now, and they would be two peers in the game, like fueling each other, you know, like that healthy competition, fueling each other of like respect and pushing each other forward just by the music that they put.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
No.
Yeah, why was 2 Chainz the right fit for Plug Talk, Benny?
Man, I had just met bro, and the way that I was rapping on that record and the way that how the beat sounded, I was just thinking, I'm like, damn, what could I do with this? Like, I got the perfect thing, you know what I'm saying? See what bro gonna do, send out to bro, and I had just did a record for him too, so me and him, we was sending records back and forth, and I wanted to send it with somebody who was gonna get in their bag, and he delivered. So, you know what I mean?
He fucking delivered, man.
Yeah, I saw the visual. You said I'm in business with 3 billionaires. I know the guy, Mr. Carter. Who are the other billionaires?
Oh man, you know I do business with the Buffalo Bills, baby. Understand? They got that sack over there. You know what I mean? You know, and Entertainment One is a $1 billion company too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing business with Entertainment One. I got the label deal over there. The Buffalo Bills. Shout out to Kim and Terry Paguglia, and you know the big guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you would have got past them Chiefs, you think you would have gave Brady a little harder time out there on the Super Bowl?
We would have chewed him up and spit him out. Chiefs kicked our ass though, man. That was a good one. That was a good one. Chiefs kicked our ass, man. A good fight.
They always have a good team.
Benny, the $1 million question, man. Like, you know, we talked, and then all of a sudden, you know, the Houston incident happened, man. Like, you know, obviously, none of us saw that coming. Like, but it just seems like throughout the whole thing, you just stay strong and stay, you know, driven. And like, what's the process been these last 6 months? And it seems like, you know, you just relied on your strength and just kept going forward, man. What's these last couple of months been for you?
Man, it's been some of it's been hard. Some of it's been like I had to get used to not moving. You know me, I don't sit still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having to sit still, I was depressed a little bit. You know what I mean? Just sitting on my ass all day, not shopping. I'm in the mall 3-4 times a week. I'm on flights. I'm taking flights just to do nothing, just to go holler at my peoples and realize I was sitting in the house and being myself, doing the things that I like to do. That kind of had me upset. So I just got in therapy and fought in therapy, exercised at home, and got to the point where I can travel and where I can do the things that I like to do. So I just got back to myself. I didn't let that, and I didn't, as Matt calling me.
Mm-hmm. Shout out, Matt.
Freddie don't know.
Big press day.
Big
press day.
Big
Result.
you know what I'm saying? So
when you say therapy, you mean physical therapy.
Yeah, physical therapy. Physical therapy. I got back to that and just work. You know what I mean? You know, that situation is where it was like, you know, I feel like niggas ain't even want my jewelry. They kind of wanted my pride, you know what I'm saying? They wanted my integrity, but you can never get that, you know what I'm saying? I'm a real gangster. I'm a real street person who stand on morals, you know what I'm saying? When I say gangster, I don't mean plunder and pillage through neighborhoods and through inner city neighborhoods. I mean, like, I live by certain morals and certain codes, you know what I'm saying? So that was that. Karma is a motherfucker, you know what I mean? And I just had to take it and live with it. It happened. Shit happens. I just was a person that happened to and got stronger and use that to motivate myself, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's inspiring, man. I mean, that's the thing. See you go through it, but come back stronger, and you are getting back to know that therapy is working.
Yeah, hell yeah, therapy is working like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And that helped me. That helped me a lot. Even when because I travel, even when I can't make it to therapy, I'm still doing the exercises at home that I learned in therapy. So I'm definitely getting better. I'm healing real good.
I gotta ask you about a couple bars. You know, I love little Benny bars, and gotta dissect it a little further, man. You said on the Plug Talk one, you said you the richest on the team, but you still work the hardest. Make changes.
Right.
Talk about that. What do you mean when you say that?
Because, you know, well, and in my own experience, I never want West Side Gun to see me like I'm lazy. You feel what I'm saying? I never want, you know what I'm saying, my boss or my supervisor to look at me like, yo, he lazy. He ain't doing this. You see what I do this. I want to be able to like, yo, look what I brought towards the team. And if you're the boss, obviously you're the boss for some reason. And if you got somebody working with you, you put them in that position for a reason. I feel like, you know what I mean, people should want to give back. And everybody, it's not like I be having young artists want to sign to my label. They be like, yo, sign me to BSF. I be like, bro, it ain't about what BSF could do for you. You think you want to sign, you think you can get a bankroll and a chain. It's about what could you do for us, because we good. I'm saying we doing albums with Freddie. I'm on live with Elliot Wilson. I'm good. What are you going to do for me? How you going to help me take my shit to the next level? You feel what I'm saying? Is you going to make it so where your boss could kick his feet up a little bit? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Is like, if you got a whole bunch of people who don't work as hard as the boss, like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
And my other favorite on when Tony Messosi, he said, I let niggas start all last year. I was too modest. You too modest?
Yeah. I was too modest. Really most of the year. After October 16th when Burn the Proof drop, I was talking my shit. But I gave the whole year. I gave these dudes the whole year. I'm just this real shit. I'm happy you asked me that. Look though, no, for real though, Harry, I gave these niggas the whole year knowing I got a project with Hit Boy and Harry Fraud coming.
Yeah,
I sat back. I let them do what they do. I let them do all that little cute shit. Let them make they post like they was running shit. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll be back. And I came back around that corner, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm around that corner again, you know what I mean? I'm talking my shit.
Speaking talking that shit, man, there's a song out called Longevity, man. To each of you guys, like, you know, you guys have put some work in now, man. Like, why is at this point when you have success, why is longevity so important? And what are some of your keys you think is approaching it, like how to maintain that? What do you guys think of when you think of longevity when it comes to each of your careers so far?
What you think, Harry?
I mean, for me, it's about consistency, man. You know what I mean? It's about raising a bar as high as you can raise it and then keeping it there. And I think that's a really hard thing to do. I think a lot of times you get to a certain point in the game and you're like, I made it where I want to go. And then you rest on your laurels. And This shit moves so fast, as y'all know. You rest, you take a break, it's over. Unless you
Right.
hold, it's or drizzy or you understand what I mean? It's no breaks. Like,
Right.
so it's about consistency and really trying to push yourself to be greatness, greatness, greatness. My goal, and I know Benny shares this goal, greatness, man. That's what we trying to be. We're not settling for nothing less. And when that's your goal, is greatness. It don't have nothing to do with money. It don't have none. All that shit comes. If you focus on greatness and every day you pushing yourself to get there as hard as you can push yourself, you're gonna that equals longevity. You
Right.
understand what I mean? Consistency and pushing yourself equals longevity.
And
You
with
know,
we seen so much work you guys, Griselda, put on to get to this point, and it seems like what I've always admired is like once you guys got that and broke through, you just guys keep going. Like,
Yeah.
talk about that motivation.
Man, because it's like getting here is one fight. That's a whole fight in itself. But staying here is totally different. You know what I'm saying? You might have to do things to stay here that you didn't have to do to get. You feel what I'm saying? So
real talk.
on staying here, we just focused on pushing the envelope and being Griselda. You feel what I'm saying? And like Harry said, using all the tools around me to take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And Harry and Next Records became one of those tools for me. You know what I'm saying? Like 2018, like years ago, this has been in the making. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing that we decided to do since I warmed up. We've been working on this. You know what I'm saying? We've been sitting down and figure out how to put something together. So, you know, just trying to be Griselda. You know what we known for? We known for hard spitting and putting quality projects out. We just trying to keep our personality.
Absolutely. So besides streaming the record on Tidal, which everybody needs to do, the plugs I met too, I see a lot of bundles, I see a lot of gear, and I also see something called Sync. Is there a song called Sync or something like that?
Yes, sir.
I need that, man. Where's my
yeah,
copy, man?
we gotta shoot that to you. We got an unreleased joint that we ain't put on the tape. It's called Sync. Cause you know, me and Harry, we got records. We've been sitting down working on the records. We got records. And you know what I'm saying? You can see the merch designed by Notorious Cat, Club Bum, Scruff God. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to, you know what I mean, feed the culture. You know what I mean?
No doubt, Benny, man. Congrats, brother. I appreciate you, man. Glad you got your vision out there, man. You stuck to it, man. What else can we expect for the rest of the year? You cooking something else next?
I mean, you might hear a Benny Conway album. You might hear a Benny Freddie Gibbs album. You know what I'm saying? We never know. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Harry. I think Harry got cut off, man. Love to Harry, man. Amazing production. Shout out to you, Benny, man. You know we got to do it every single time, man. Plugs I met too right now. What's the website you can get? Oh, Get On Down?
GetOnDown.com is where you can get the physicals, the vinyls, and the CDs. BennyTheButcherStore.com is where you can get the merch. It's live right now. And go stream the Plugs I Met Too on Tidal right now.
Yeah. All right, Benny. Appreciate you, brother. Love, man.
Thank you.
Buffalo's finest, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Shout out. Appreciate everybody checking in, man. Somebody said car test, man. I got to bring that car test back. You're right, 1,500. Bring that back, but make sure for now, man, we got the Plugs I Met Too. It's on Tidal right now. You want that Benny Conway album, huh? That's what you want? We're going to see, man. Let's see Harry. I'll say goodbye to Harry real quick. Let me see. Let me see if I can get Harry back to just say goodbye to the brother if he's here. Let's see here. Shout out to One Mental, man. Call me a legend. I appreciate that, brother. Let me see Harry. See if I can get Harry in real quick. Say goodbye. See what production he got cooking up, man. You know he got some heat in the stash. Harry, I sent a request. See if you can get in there real quick. I want to know what you're cooking up for the rest of the year, production-wise. I know you're up to something. Shout out Jason Capana, man. Home team, baby. Tidal team is strong. Stronger than ever. Let's see. Technology. Let's see. Shout out DJ Scratch, man. Appreciate you, homie. Check out DJ Scratch's playlist, man. If you saw that verses with D'Angelo, man, DJ Scratch, man, had to hold that thing down for the team, man. The playlist he did is available on Tidal right now. Make sure you check it out, man. Shout out Jonathan, man. I think I'm going to have to hit Harry offline, man, and get that info, man, and tweet it out. Tell you what's he doing on the low. But I'm out of here, man. Shout out to everybody checking in. Appreciate everybody's support on Tidal. Talk to y'all soon, man. With the plus, I met 2. Elliot Wilson, Tidal, check in.